Hello and welcome back to RimWorld, and we are going to make sure that when Paulson, when he wakes up, he gets some food. Let's speed up a bit, even more, and make him eat, and then he is actually already making the longsword, which is great. That is really good. What I'm going to do is force him to do it so he doesn't try to do something else for some kind of reason which is unknown. But yeah, the reason why we are making Paulson do a steel long sword is because he has inspired creativity. Now, if you don't know what that is basically when someone gets into the mood of wanting to create something special and they make something better than they would normally do. So if they normally would make a normal quality thing, it's going to be a higher quality thing because the colonist in question that makes it has inspired creativity, which means that the quality will be higher than it would otherwise be. Which is more or less the only way of getting masterwork and legendary stuff. Masterwork, I believe you can get anyway, but I think I don't remember, I don't think I ever had a legendary thing like the, or whatever it's called, the absolute highest quality thing. That one is really hard to get to and really hard to get hold of, and even if you buy them, they are hard to get. They are even harder to get hold of if you make them yourself. And the only way of getting the absolute highest quality that is achievable is by having a super good crafter or whatever skill that is required and have inspired creativity. Otherwise it's nigh impossible to actually get the highest quality. But in this case we just want a decent steel longsword for, what is it? Tatiana? Yeah, Tatiana. Because she's using a knife which isn't that good when fighting. It has served us well and will probably continue doing so, but for the time being, we need we need to try to equip them with as good stuff that we can. Now, many of the people we have are like ranged in some way for some reason. But yeah, it's not going to hurt if we try to get them to be like even somewhat well equipped. The better the weapon, even if they have terrible skill, the better the weapon, the higher the chance for them to actually hit, which means that they will get more XP, which means they will have a higher chance of hitting, and so on and so forth. experienced an inspiration, a go frenzy, which means he will move faster. Okay, that's useful. Oh, wow, masterwork one. I wasn't really expecting that. This weapon is engraved with an illustration of the sky illuminated in greens and greys over a rock. Below, Tatiana plays backgammon with a chummy look. The scene takes place inside a settlement built near an expanse. The work has an erotic feeling and a dynamic structure. What? This depiction tells the story of the time polar lights shone over Tatiana's settlement of 7th of August 5501. What? Erotic feeling? What? Okay. Title, Grey Tatiana. Well, let's... Yeah. We have a weapon which has a damage per second 12.5. 12.5 is a lot of damage, and if they stab and cut, we can see that is going to be 33.4 damage per attack. That's a lot. Tatiana, you are going to be equipped with your own sword. Yeah, that's a really good sword. Yeah, I'm not selling that one. No way. I'm using it. But yeah, I would not have made that level of quality on that long sword if it wasn't for the inspired creativity. It would not have been possible. Which is why, if you get someone with the inspired creativity, it's actually really important to make sure that they do, they spend that creativity on the stuff that you want a good quality item of. Because if you're not careful, they might make art, which in the moment doesn't really matter, or make a masterwork toque or parka or something, which maybe don't really help you because everyone is stacked out with stuff which is good enough quality anyway. So it is important to actually be a bit you could say micro managing for that kind of stuff. Now is August, let's see, we have let's turn all of these ones on. I don't know why I turned them off. It probably was for some kind of reason, but at the moment I think it's better to just let them... It might have been to actually make the tree area grow. Everything to be grown, but as it is right now, it's... These should be on, so yeah. It seems like they haven't gone down here to deconstruct the granite walls, which is too bad, but whatever. Let's take a look at animals. We have 2 alpaca, 1 cow, 1 bull, and 1 calf. The alpaca here should be grazing, and Selma, the Labrador Retriever, is fine as is. Take a look at wildlife. Do we have something like tortoise? Oh, we have a timber wolf. Ooh, okay. But that's the only predator we have. Okay, that's good. That's good. But we don't have any alpacas. We can't get a breeding pair. That's fine. You're building and building and building. What's your construction at this point? It's 12, okay? Which is quite impressive considering how low it was in the start. I think it was like 1 or 2, like really, really bad. Don't remember how bad it was, but it was just not good. I think what we should do is make a zone like this. Very, very simple. Make it critical. Clear all. Go into chunks. Stone chunks and granite chunks. And let's rename this to be granite chunk what should we call it? Like granite chunk temp. No, not temp. Granite chunk storage. Let's say granite. Chunk. Supplier. Or rather supply, just supply. Might have spelled that incorrectly, but whatever. Just so we have some kind of understanding of why this is a stockpile here. Yeah, if that doesn't kill a hare or a rabbit, I would not want to be the animal in question. Would have been terrible. A pila is not small, whereas the animal in question is. good. They are cleaning. Let's take a look at how is the home area looking. It is looking decent. Now, since we are in the situation of having this wall, we have to put up this wall as part of the home zone, or we will not have it to be repaired. And yes, we will need to designate these parts where the sandbags are, in case that they get damaged, because if they get damaged and they get destroyed, they can actually stand there afterwards, which we don't want them to do. So we want to make sure everything is repaired, up and running and existing where they should be. Otherwise, right, we're missing these here, but otherwise I think we have everything put in at this point. I see what we need to do over here is this. Now, let's see if we have some close steel. Here's some steel. Let's mine one row at least. Yeah, and the reason why this wall hasn't been like repaired is because, yeah, it wasn't in the home zone, which means it will not get repaired. Let's take a look at the cleaning area we have. The cleaning area looks fine at the moment. Yep, that's good. What we need to do is to make this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's metal tile, which we should remove before doing anything else. No, we don't want to remove you, just this. And we need to put these in here. We need to put these in here. And then this needs to be there. This needs to be here. Let's say power conduit. Let's move you out there. There we go. Yeah, expanding so we have capacity for 2 more is going to be important. Now, I'm not a super big fan of the whole double wall thing. Now, it does increase the insulating capacity of your base. So if you have double thick wall, you're actually going to be able to retain heat and coolness better, but still, I rather, especially in the beginning of a colony, just have a one thick wall because of the resource cost it's going to, the implication of the resource cost and the actual resource cost. Basically, what if you do double thick wall, you're going to double the amount of resources you need, more or less, not exactly, but almost. Which in the beginning might be really taxing because you don't have that much, or the production of some bricks or something is just way too slow or low that you can't keep up with the pace you build in. Which might be the case, it also might not be the case. But as it is for me, it is. Now it would be great if they could like get granite chunks over here. Well, I might have to like do this, designate them for left lung destroyed on the turkey. Okay, you decided to eat and then you continue hunting. Okay. Could you please hit? You hit once again, but failed to kill it. Tail was cut off. Okay. Yeah, sometimes the hunting just is so bad because it's so slow. Yeah. What I'm going to do is force Peanut to remove at least some of the floor. Not all of it, but some of it. Like that. Mostly so we can actually like build a wall. I'm going to take a look at... Where's the boars? Where are you, boars? Here you are. Let's take a look at what age and gender we can maybe get hold of. Well, taming this and this would be great. A female wild boar age 1 and a male wild boar age 1 would be so good to get hold of. Because wild boars are an animal which is capable of hauling. I love animals capable of hauling. They are so helpful, especially when it comes to like cleaning up or getting that one bit here and there to actually like get moved. It's so useful. But most of the time they need to be unrestricted, which you might not want depending on the wildlife situation where you have a bunch of predators roaming around. Now, the wildness of the wild boar is actually not that high. The wildness means a few things. Mostly it is how often you're gonna have to retrain them, which sucks. That's actually one of the aspects of the whole training thing that I don't like. Like, Labrador Retriever is a domestic dog, which means it has a wildness of 0. Tameness will never decay. Which in the case of an alpaca, on the other hand, it actually will decay. It's somewhat slow in decaying, but it will. If we take a look at a wild boar that we actually got hold of, if we put them at grazing, I actually don't want them to do anything else. What? Does the wild boar not train ability? Okay, they have okay, wild boars were actually capable of hauling before, but as it is right now, they are not. Okay, butcher zone. Sorry, pig, but you're not useful to me. Low food. I think at this point what we should do is actually increase the cook simple meal to 12. Just in case. You never know. Here we go. I'm going to deconstruct you by prioritizing. It's not that good to like deconstruct stuff. I do like the mods that makes a bunch of stuff movable that isn't movable in the vanilla, but I think it's going to be fine. You do have a slight loss of resources, but it's not that big. It's most of the time just fine the way it is. The wild boar is going to be designated solar flare, which is probably the worst thing because it just makes all electric stuff does not work, which is not how a solar flare works, but whatever. It does not magically make a civilization experience the Stone Age out of nowhere. It might, depending on the intensity of the solar flare, impact various electronics devices and things that is using electricity of some kind, but if you know of a solar flare, that it is coming and you shut everything down beforehand, you should in most cases be fine. And then you can just start everything up again and it's going to work perfectly fine. But it's a hindrance in the game, so it's basically there so you can't use this stuff. So, for example, cooling during a heat wave, it's just going to make, what it does is make your colonist angry and unhappy, which then, if you're unlucky, might actually cause them to break and do a bunch of bad stuff, which is how the game is like made to work, but seems a bit silly to be some of the things in how they make it in the game. Do that so they can't hide there. We need to do as well is actually this and this. But this episode is going to have to end here. So, thanks for watching, goodbye, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.